you're taking Percy Jackson, a much beloved character,
Indeed,
and you're going into the Sea of Monsters. What was the first step of making sure this was the right path for you?
Well, I knew it was the right path because I always loved, the idea of fantasy adventure films that are sort of in and of themselves kind of juxtaposed with the real world. So I loved how sort of Percy Jackson and his group of characters are so contemporary and at the same time, dealing with Greek gods in the modern world. So that kind of new take or new sort of irreverent take, I will say, on Greek mythology was something I think that could be mined emotionally as well as for comedy, which we do in the film. So the emotional world of Percy Jackson combined with the humor it has really had me doubt very little that this was right for me to do.
We saw about 35 minutes earlier today.
Yeah.
And I've got to say, what I kind of liked is the fact that Percy's kind of like, he's not the big cheese anymore.
Right.
As a director, how was it working with Logan and finding that character? And was that part of the book? I'm assuming that's part of the books. I've never read them.
There was a little moment in the book that very much inspired the whole idea of Percy feeling like the fifth wheel or the odd man out or the, less than himself. The last movie leaves him as being a hero, you know. So the challenge here was like to give him sort of new doubts, new sort of a lack of confidence, so to speak. In the book, the Half-Bloods have to sacrifice part of their meal to their parents before eating.
Oh.
Sort of just to kind of like, oh, okay, this is as a sacrifice to our parents who, originated us, so to speak. And Percy really thinks like, why would I give up part of my meal to someone that I never get to talk to? Yeah. So the idea of the absence of these parents really led to the moment that you experienced early on in the film that you saw, where he tries to talk to his father and doesn't get an answer. That to me is almost like an emotional sort of marker in the beginning of the film, and sort of is really the on the outset of his journey that he doubts himself. He doesn't get any responses from his parents. There's a new kid on the block in the shape of Clarice. All that really makes him a believing that it was all luck or something. What he accomplished the last time, and of course the movie's about his journey of not only regaining a confidence but taking it to another level.
And you do take it to another level special effects wise. This thing looks huge. The little bits we saw later on in the film look huge. What kind of effects were you looking? How big did you want to go?
I do want to go very big because obviously we had to up the ante from the last movie, which employed visual effects very ably. My general concern, though, was always keeping the characters first and foremost, like focusing on the actors. As exciting as all the monsters are, they really would be nothing without Logan, Alex, Brandon, Levin, and Douglas kind of, reacting to them appropriately, and never losing track of what their behavior is on the other side of the equation. So I think it's mostly about the characters with, some wonderful fancy window dressing that I wanted to do.